What's up, everybody? It's Chris and Hyenas, History Hyenas, and guess what? We finally got T-shirts. They're all over the place. There's going to be a lot more coming. We got T-shirts. We got Mike Mush here. We got Zach Isis here. We're all here.
Yeah, we're here. I blew out a candle last night, and the wicker and the hot ash went into my left eye, and it hurts. And Hyenas has got on a woman's sweater. And he'll say that I'm fashionable, I'm the nicest, I know how to dress, blah, blah, blah. You look like a woman. And the thing is now, because I can... Here's the thing with me, Hyenas.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. For most of our friendship, this is truth.
Yeah.
For most of our friendship, you've just said a lot of things, and you're like, I'm this, I'm that, and I've just let it go because I've been depressed. But now I can confidently beat the shit out of you and throw you through a window. Yeah. So I'm just going to tell you how I feel, and I hate your sweater.
I think you probably could have beat the shit out of me before you learned how to be a slow boxer.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, now I'm picking up the speed.
I don't even know if I could recognize you without a boxing shirt on. If you walked in here and you didn't have a boxing, if your sweatshirt didn't say
the back of Mike's head looks like a tortellini.
Yeah. We got no fume shirts now.
They are good.
Yeah.
Cause last night we had a few brews, you and I, and
I've just been letting go recently.
You've been letting go
because I had two more at home afterwards.
But you're a married kid. Here's the thing. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. We were talking about this yesterday.
Tell me how the cookie crumbles.
Here's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, here's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
You're born a straight white man in America. You're ahead of the curve.
There's just no other way to slice it, right?
There's no other way to slice it. It's like, yeah, you know, you joke around about how you don't have a career and all that stuff is funny and true, but the bottom line is the things that you're inheriting from your family's wealth is just more than any one of these sandy comedians could ever get within a lifetime. So it's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, my family just made a good decision to buy a house in Park Slope.
Because the thing is, it's just like some people... I would be mad at it too.
Listen, AOC, we're just going to figure out a way no matter what you do.
No matter what you do, it's just like you're just going to win. Yeah. Yanni is just always going to win, and it's just what it is. So it's like like you joke around about stuff, but it's like you're just going to win. You're just ahead of everybody. It's truly just what it is, and I get why people would be upset about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because do we have any of those noises that don't come in robot flavor?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
By the way, the longest... Oh, come on in.
We got somebody here.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Come on in.
Hi. No, you're right on time. Chris.
Enissa, hello, nice to
I'm
meet
Hyenas. Nice to meet you.
Thanks
That's
for
Mike.
Nice to meet you. This is Mike, and this is Zach. Isis.
Yeah. Sit down. You can sit down.
So come on.
You're a comedian, so you're used to meeting people on a podcast, right? When people that's how we talk now. Normal.
I've actually never been on a podcast.
This is the first podcast.
Every comedian I know in Germany has a podcast.
Yeah,
but you never did it.
I never did it. No, I never did it.
Right.
I don't have one of my own.
That's okay.
People ask me, but I think.
Wow.
Well, you're my first.
Oh, look at that. Podcast virgin.
We're making history right here because we are History Hyenas.
Sit down here?
Yeah, sit down here.
Yeah.
First of all, welcome to America.
Thank you.
How long are you here for?
I'm here for a month.
Wow.
Now I've been here for a week now. And yeah. So
we found out. First of all, Hyenas hates Germans. Let's just start off with that because he's Greek and his mother grew up in Nazi-occupied Greece, so he hates Germans. He won't tell you that, but I know that. Yeah. And the reason why I'm telling you is because I just found out that I'm 80% German off Ancestry.com.
Oh, wow.
So I'm very German, and Hyenas doesn't like that, and that's why he's wearing a turtleneck right now because he wants to cover up his neck.
Yeah, which he just called a woman's shirt. And he looks like the Germans you probably went to school with. That's how they look like.
He actually looks very German.
Very German.
Right,
People have, see, ever since I said on the podcast, Ancestry.com, I'm German, people are just like, yeah, you look German. So I don't know. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not.
Let's give our guest a proper introduction.
You give her the introduction.
I met her about 3 hours ago for 2 sentences on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's how it works now. Yeah. So she is Enissa Amani.
Right.
Good name.
And she's a comedian from Berlin, Germany.
Germany.
Not Berlin, but Germany.
Germany.
Yeah, I'm from Frankfurt.
Oh, Frankfurt.
And I live in Cologne. You know Cologne?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Nobody knows Cologne.
Of course we know Cologne.
Yeah, you know Cologne.
C-O-L-O-G-N-E.
Yeah. Dracar Noir,
No,
Polo.
not quite.
Okay, I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's actually the city where the first cologne is from. That's why it's called
And Frankfurt is
cologne.
Frankfurters.
And Frankfurt
That's
is
how we know.
Frankfurters.
That's how we know it.
Oh, there
And
you
Hamburg
go,
is
my
hamburgers.
special.
There we go, right there.
This is
Yeah.
so
There you go.
cool.
That's
What
her-
does Ehrenwort mean?
It means word of honor, but it's translated to like if you give a promise, but it's like a kind of a like a promise with all of your heart and all of your honor. This means like it's not. That's only I think the word is not existing in English. It's
Well,
like,
I'm going to say Ehrenwort. I'm just going to say it today. Am I saying it right?
yeah, Ehrenwort.
Ehrenwort. I'm just going to say it.
You can't.
The thing is,
Ehrenwort.
if I start to hit with what I look like, if I then also start to hit words with the hard German accent, it's
Yeah.
just, it's not, you know what I mean?
They're
People
gonna
start to
take-
get scared.
They're gonna.
They're going to be like the Fourth Reich. This kid wants to fucking start shit up again.
Your Twitter will be canceled. They will.
It's just what it is.
They'll demonetize you.
Ehrenwort, Chris, say it.
Ehrenwort.
Ehrenwort.
Hefeweißheit.
It's actually a very sweet word. It means like you ask me to promise you something, and I would say, no, I don't only give you my promise, I give you my Ehrenwort, which means I give you my word of honor to do it. That's the
All
word.
right.
Do you have
I
that
have genital
in English?
Ehrenworts.
Like cross your heart, hope to die.
Pinky
Yes,
swear.
that's
Yeah,
the one.
yeah.
Pinky
Pinky
swear.
promise.
Pinky swear.
Yeah.
We went to Germany, Giannis and I. We went to Germany and Austria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And we went to Munich, though, for
Nice.
Oktoberfest. And we had a good time. What a beautiful place.
Well,
So Oktoberfest is like me in New York going to the Times Square. Like
Yeah,
we Germans, we
it's
don't
brutal.
go.
Yeah.
We
you
know that, yeah.
It's like a New York person. Like I've never been to Oktoberfest my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I love the Bavarian culture, they're cool. They're a little very
Yeah, they're like,
sometimes right wing-ish,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still cool. I love the food.
yeah.
They have nice food.
We could feel that. We felt like this is like very touristy, but you know, we're not from there, so we went and did it. What's it?
I'm just filming, so I want to put it up on my Instagram. So I'm showing. I'm just
Oh, yeah.
showing the
Show it.
situation.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Chris. This is my special. This is
Hello.
hello.
Uh,
Hi,
Yanni.
how do you say hello in German?
my. Hallo.
Hello, it's Jonas. Nice to see you.
Und da hinten ist, ich weiß.
Und Isis, Zach.
Zach Isis.
Alaikum
Is he
salam,
Middle
Zach.
East? You're Middle Eastern too.
My parents are from Iran, right?
Oh, from
Yeah.
Iran. What
Wow.
a good country.
Zach's from Queens.
Yeah, Zach's from Queens, New York, but he has Middle Eastern heritage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a Palestinian kid. And Mike Mush is Mexican from San Antonio.
Very cool.
With
Mikey
papers.
emoji face.
Yeah.
With paper. You know when you go to Philadelphia and you get a cheesesteak and they say, would you like it with or without? That's the way we refer to White Walkers. Are they with or without papers?
Without, she doesn't know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
but she's
No.
politely laughing.
Yeah,
The thing is,
Yeah, actually,
Giannis just
yeah.
goes on a mind of his own. He has early onset Alzheimer's. He's just not,
Okay.
So the thing is with you is what I wanted to ask you is, first of all,
Yeah.
how the hell did you even wind up finding out who Giannis was?
Well,
I'm asking. His wife wants to know. You're too hot to be DMing him.
Oh, yeah, so
His
cute.
wife's pissed.
So should I tell him like the official version?
Yeah, sure.
Or
Yes.
like what
Tell them the real
happened?
story. Yeah.
No, actually, like I was booked in at a hotel in Brooklyn, Greenpoint, very sweet hotel. I just found it like randomly, and
Right.
then so now I changed it because I felt like it was too far away. But at my hotel there was a employee, very nice person, called Nigel.
Nigel Husey.
So-
I grew up with him.
Did he come to the wedding?
No, he did not come to the
okay.
wedding. Yeah.
Yeah, and as I'm like, this is the way when I'm in a foreign country, I just try to connect with the comedians, try to go to the comedy stores and just say, hey, I'm a comedian, can I
Right.
play here? And actually, this is I met a few, I can call them friends now. Like I did that the same way when I was in LA.
Right.
Like kind of maybe a little naive, but I
Right.
just walk in and say, hey, I'm Enissa, I have a Netflix special. May I have a little spot? Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Smart. That's what you have to
So-
do.
Yeah, and so
Screwed
I
in.
asked
Screwed in.
Nigel by the day I was actually checking out. I said, "Are there any maybe small comedy clubs in Brooklyn I could go to perform to practice my English and everything?" And he was like, "I don't know, but I have a friend of mine. He's a very good comedian, and
Good, he likes my stuff.
Yes, and he said his name is Yannis, and he showed me your Instagram, and
Yeah.
I was like, can I just like inbox him? Is that cool? And he was like, yeah, of course, go ahead. And he said, you know Donnell Rawlings, and I was like, yeah, I know Donnell too. I love him. Like they're always very
He
kind.
goes to Germany, Donnell Rawlings. Doesn't he do comedy in Germany?
He was in the military.
Or in the military in Germany.
Yeah, and he loves to tell you that. Like every time,
Yeah.
the first time he met me, he was like, "So you're from Germany?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Darmstadt." Darmstadt is just a town in Germany where like 5 people live or something. And he was like, Darmstadt, that's Donnell. So shout out to Donnell. That's his favorite.
Egyptian.
So then I DM'd Yanis in the middle of the night yesterday. I couldn't sleep. So I went to some Chinese restaurant, got original Chinese food. And then I was like, hey, Yanis, I'm Enissa. Is that cool? And I was so lucky when he said, hey, we're recording a podcast the next day, and there's Chris. And so I stalked you on Instagram. I found you, your family, your anxiousness, like everything. Like, your life,
my
your
kid.
kid. Your kid is actually very sweet. And I saw Maz Jabrani was writing under a pic of you that something with your kid doesn't want it to show watch your special, something like that. And Maz was like, I'm having my kids watching your special, and I was like, okay, he's friends with Maz. So that's how everything happened.
I mean, you know, you did the right thing, because I feel like this whole our whole business is just like who you know, like friends and stuff. Are you here right now working on a show, or you're just coming to America?
I played at the Gotham Comedy Club, like a 10-minute set. I was at the New York Comedy Club East Village, 10-minute set, and I was at the Stand Comedy. It's in the Ace Hotel. So I'm still, you know, as English is like you here, I do a lot of mistakes talking English. It's just English from school, you know, so it's not that perfect. But
the thing is, like you can't. Can you speak Greek, Hyenas?
Very little.
Like the fact that you can even speak English like you're speaking it.
Thank
like
you so
I
much.
couldn't say anything in any other language. We're so isolated and fucking dumb here. Do you speak Spanish?
Very little.
See, what the fuck?
Very little,
Do you speak Middle Eastern?
He barely speaks English.
Yeah, he barely speaks English. He has
but
tattoos on his fingers if you're looking for a boyfriend. This guy's fucking finger tattoos. That'd be nice. Come back with a nice American guy with finger tattoos.
He can't even spell in English.
Yeah, the fact that you can confidently just speak it and then potentially do comedy in English is like, I think it's great.
But it all started with a comedy friend of mine. He's also Iranian. Maybe you know him. It's Max Amani. He's Iranian American comic.
Yes.
So he had a show in Amsterdam, and I had never planned to play shows in English, to do shows in Farsi. Never. I was just straight in my little German world.
Yeah.
So he called me up, I think 1.5 years ago, and he was like, Enissa, I have a show in Amsterdam. I'm with my friends and my my fiance, everybody. And Enissa, would you like to come over to watch the show? And I was like, yeah, I'm off the weekend. I'll take the train. I'll be over. It's 2 hours from Cologne. So I went to Amsterdam. And then his support act, who was a Dutch comedian, called like 5 minutes before the show. He was like, I'm sick, I cannot come. And he was like, Enissa, it was a 1,000-seater. And he was like, Enissa, you got to do the opening. And I was like, Max, I don't have an English set. I don't even know if I'm confident in English. And by the way, I was like dressed kind of like a bitchy that day. I was like, it's hot summer, I won't never go on stage with this outfit, that's not me. And he was like, no, you're a natural. He's very American. You're always very supportive.
Go for it. Conquer it.
And he was like, do it. And so he always supported me that much. So I went on stage. It went so good. People were like, I had a stand. Maybe they were just have pity, or I had like a rookie bonus. I don't know what I had, but they gave me a standing ovation.
Beautiful.
And he was like, Enissa, if you don't start English, you're just stupid. Please start English.
Well, it's smart.
So that's what happened.
I feel like all the comedians now, like Gad Elmaleh does. Do you know Gad?
Yes, not personally, but I know his
Gad
show.
does all the comedy in English now.
Yeah.
You're doing it in English. It's just the best. We should try to do comedy in another language to see what happens.
And
we should do German.
Like whenever you're in Germany, please. I have one girl from LA. She was in Germany. She was like, Enissa, do you have any shows I can play? I was like, of course, I have a show. It was a little town in Germany called Bünde, 800 people. I was like, yeah, come over.
Yeah.
And before she came on stage, I was like, hey, I have a comedian from LA tonight. She's gonna play a little set. You're actually you could be very proud to see a LA comedian, just pretend that you understand English, okay? And like the audience was like, yeah,
but they didn't know any English.
I don't know, but she had a nice time.
But I feel like in Europe, you can get away because everybody speaks English in Europe, right?
Course,
for the most part.
And I feel like I mean, we look up to American show business. Of course we do. We're not that good at it. We're good at building cars and stuff like that. We're not.
Taking over the world.
So they're
few
just
other
happy
things. Yeah,
when
trying to take over the world until you ran into the fucking boys. United States of America, World War I and World War II, back-to-back World War champs, motherfucker. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
she don't care.
So I think every time you're over, people are very honored to have American
Yeah.
comedians. I always feel very honored, and I learn a lot.
Yeah. Now the thing is with you is coming here. First of all, do they have any Puerto Ricans in Germany, or they may be called Puerto
Yeah,
Ricans?
of
You have
course,
Puerto Ricans in
but
Germany.
it's a little community,
Yeah.
like a little minority, but we do. Yeah,
You
of
look
course.
you look very Puerto Rican. If I
Thank you
took you
so
to the Puerto Rican neighborhood in Brooklyn, I would just like to see what would happen.
That's a huge compliment
It
to
is,
me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love to see.
Yeah,
I do lie a lot about that. I always say I had a grandmother who was from Venezuela. And people
Venezuela,
asking
yeah.
me like, how did the Venezuelan woman came to Iran? I was like,
Yeah.
My granddad was a sailor and he took whatever.
Because my brain, it's like warping my brain right now. Because the thing, my daughter's half Puerto Rican. My kid, my ex.
Your wife is.
No, we're not together. We
Okay.
co-parent.
Well, Sunset Park wife. Yeah.
Sunset Park. That's my wife.
What does that mean? What does that
Sunset
mean?
Sort of
Park-
like a Brooklyn arrangement, a baby's mama kind of situation.
Yeah, she's my baby's mama. I love her, support her, but she's very Puerto Rican. My daughter's very Puerto Rican. So you look very Puerto Rican. So my brain is saying she's Puerto Rican, but then you're like, hello, I am from Germany and I have
Yes.
Netflix.
Yeah.
So I don't, it's just, my brain is just trying to catch up to what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just into it.
Like if you walked around Brooklyn, you probably get a couple guys like, yo,
They'd be like, yo, mommy,
yo,
what up,
ma,
boo?
what's up, ma? And you'd be
I
like,
had
hello,
that.
I'm from South
You'd be like,
Cologne.
I had
Yeah.
that. And I was like, hallo,
Hello.
dankeschön.
They're like, oh, this Puerto Rican girl is deaf. That's what they would think.
Yo, ma, can I buy you a drink? Yes, 2 half of ice and please.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
So what are you doing tonight? What do you have shows tonight?
No, I'm still, but I'm freshly, I'm still trying to. I'm freshly signed with UTA.
Oh, I'm with UTA as well.
Cool.
Look at
so
that.
I think I'm the first German person. I don't know.
Who
but,
is it with Bjorn?
Yeah, with Bjorn.
Yeah, that's my UK agent.
Hey Bjorn.
Hi, Bjorn.
Everybody knows Bjorn. So
Bjorn,
yeah,
I'm
is my-
coming to England June 24th and 25th. Bjorn, you better come to my shows in London. You fuck.
Yeah, Bjorn is.
Bjorn,
my-
so he's the UK person,
came
or he's
from-
the Europe person.
Yeah, he was at my. I have a second Netflix special, which is like the how do you
little
say, like the
baby
short
one.
ones, the 30
Yeah.
30 minutes one.
yeah.
The show was called Comedians of the World.
Yeah.
And there Bjorn came
I
and
know
he was
Comedians of
like,
the World, yeah.
and he was like, Enissa, we were interested in
Yeah.
like doing your English stuff and maybe blah. And I was like, of course I would.
UTA is the
so
best.
there is one person actually called Mike, and Mike is like checking what clubs I could play.
Yeah,
like
I
5
know Mike
minutes
too.
here, 5
Yeah,
minutes
we know
there.
Mike. Yeah.
So wherever you know people who would let me play, even if it's
Yeah.
like 2 people watching, I'm
Thursday, what do you do? Thursday, Mike, I'm headlining here Thursday. You come do a set on Thursday.
you go.
Yeah, of
Can
course.
I?
There you
Yeah.
go. 10:30.
Habt ihr das uns gekriegt? Ich habe gerade,
We'll get-
ich bin gerade,
Dankeschön.
ich habe gerade
We're
meine
gonna have such a
Einladung zum
culturally
Comedy
diverse
Cellar.
show. Look at that. We got me, you, Mike, and then there's somebody else. Yeah, the show's at I'm headlining 10:30 show.
I'll be
10:30
there.
downstairs
I'll
here.
be- yeah, I
Oh
was-
no, around the corner.
Yeah,
But it's here.
you
It's the
just-
Comedy Cellar.
I'm here.
How's comedy in Germany? I used to
Bad.
tour in
They're not the funniest people,
Scandinavia
right?
a lot.
Usually?
Yeah, I used to tour in Scandinavia a lot, and it was like comedy was only like 10 years old, 20 years old. So how old is comedy in Germany now? Stand up.
Yeah, we do have a good reputation in doing a thing called cabaret. Cabaret means like a very political comedy. You know, it's mostly older guys, and they're very into critical things regarding society, and they're really good at it, like really good. But like the real stand-up situation is actually maybe 10, 15 years where we have
crazy.
the kind of American kind of stand-up. And now there's a development. I feel like I'm a door opener for a lot of younger ones, and I'm very proud of that because, you know, the whole thing which happened here in the late 70s, 80s, like people cussing on stage, blah, blah. This is something very new in Germany. I still get a lot of, don't want to say a lot of shit, but I have elderly German people watching me, and they know me from the cabaret shows on TV where I'm invited. But then I do like stand up, and I'll be on stage, and then I talk like you know, like
Like a human being with a heartbeat.
Yeah, right.
Not like a
And
German.
And then
You're a
they're like,
normal person.
Why is she using this kind of words? This is not.
Shut up.
They're
Tell them to
very-
shut the fuck
Oh,
up.
thank you so
It's
much.
like just like people want to try to control everything. It's,
Yes,
but,
and
but,
I
maybe,
feel
but in
like
America, now in America, it's like nobody would do that. Well, they would do that, but most people would be like, shut up, stupid.
Yeah,
Go
right.
sit in your fucking
so
hole.
I feel like I have this. There's this thing like a blessing and a curse. Like I had my career went very fast. I just wanted to start as a hobby. I never thought this would work out. And like from my first open mics, 1.5 years after that, I had my own TV show on
That's
the
quick.
biggest German television channel, like your is it maybe the most influential, like HBO or something, like the German ProSieben. They gave me a late night show, and but it was too soon. It was 1.5 years. I didn't even learn like how to be a businesswoman, how to say I want that, I want this, I don't want that. That put the light this way, and I want this kind of content and that kind of content. So it was very fast. I don't want to complain. I feel very blessed what happened, and
I get it.
Of course, I get a lot of like she's a beautiful girl, blah blah blah, and but there are so many beautiful girls right now doing stand up, and they are doing it maybe for like 8 years, and they don't have their how do you say, like the coming through thing.
They haven't broken through.
There are people who write that's all because she's looking good, and there are other people who write like, no, I feel she's very intelligent, she's very funny, she's not pretty at all, and this is the people I block.
But here's the thing.
I cannot deal with this one. I can't deal with the not funny one. This I can deal with. I cannot deal with it. She's not pretty but very intelligent. I block these people.
All that but all that shit is them just justifying why they're not successful. I mean, that's all that is. It's like even if they're just hi Bjorn. It's just them just justifying why they're not successful. I mean, that's what happens. People always figure out a way. Oh, this person has this because of that. Whatever. All that stuff is probably true. There probably is a good reason. There's probably part of the reason might be why they give your own shows because you're very beautiful.
Everything
but
is
who cares? That's not your fault. You're also funny. So it's like fuck them. I let that shit go in one ear and out the other.
Dude, can Germans laugh? Or is it a clap or a snap that they do? Do they just go like that?
Yeah, they're kind of learning. Like Hamburg, this is my favorite city to play. Like my special was in Hamburg. Shout
out Cheeseburg.
Yeah, they have a very American attitude. You go out, there'll be screaming, there'll be yelling, there'll be even what is that word? Hackling. Like
Heckling.
we don't have German hacklers. They're still not. They don't. When I had my first hackler in LA, and I was so proud. I was like, oh, this is the famous hackling. Thank you for saying something. Because the Germans, they're very, they buy their
cerebral,
tickets 2 years before. They have
organized,
reserved the structured,
If you come out on stage 5 seconds late, they get mad. They want a refund.
Of course,
well, that's why even like when we were in Germany, like I remember we were looking at something. What were we looking at? Where Hitler did the beer push, right? The beer push hall. Remember we were looking at that thing. Remember we had the flight. We had the flight in like 2 hours, and you were like just admiring because you're like Greek. Oh,
the road where he marched down.
Yeah, and then because I was in my fatherland, I was just getting very German, and I was like, we have to go. And you were getting mad because I was like, Giannis, we have to go. And so I could feel like how those Germans are, and I like that. I like to be like, I'm not late. I'm just fucking there on time. And Yanni's just a Greek that
we enjoy life. We're Mediterranean. We're from the same area. How do you reconcile that German and then the Arab? Arabs like to chill, enjoy themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, I started with Farsi stand up. Now I'm playing Farsi shows. I did one in London, one in Manchester, and in Germany. I play 4th of June. Like in 3 weeks, I'm having one in Hamburg, but it's Farsi. Like it's for the Iranians in Germany, and I love it because they're very new to stand up. Like totally new. I can do everything, but they are very, how do you say, like they're willing to learn. They want to know. So this is the stand-up world. So this is how it's supposed to be. So I love that they're open. Germans mostly they're not. They want to stay the way they are. They don't want to like change a lot.
Yeah, they want everybody out usually.
They want everybody out. They want everyone to look like them.
They can't help that. That's
you can't even joke around. See what we're doing right now. Obviously, joking about like Germany, Nazi stuff. You can't even do that in Germany. We were told in Germany if you even fucking joke around with that Nazi shit, you'll like go to prison.
No. I said that. I had a set yesterday. I was like, Germans are so sensitive on the Nazi word that even the Nazis don't want to be called Nazis.
Don't call them a different
I have
word.
people commenting on my page like, I hate Muslims. I hate black people. I
That's
hate
my
every
father, I apologize.
minority. Okay? I hate everybody, but I'm not a Nazi. How can you dare call me a Nazi? I was like, you just wrote, I want to have everybody killed who is not white, but I'm not a Nazi. A Nazi is a different thing. No, it's not a different thing. It's exactly what you said
Same
there,
shit.
Yeah.
So they are very sensitive on the Nazi, but you can do some Nazi jokes. I did, but you can never go, for instance, like I had a Jewish comedian, a friend of mine, who said, Enissa, we have to go like very like talk about the Holocaust. I was like, dude, this is Germany. You
can't do
cannot.
that.
Yeah.
You can do it if you're Jewish, of course. But when you're not Jewish and you have Iranian and German roots,
Can't do it.
you should shut the fuck up. Like I should shut the.
What's
fuck
your
up.
background? You're Iranian and German?
No, my parents are from Iran,
Yeah.
and they came to in Germany. Most people are first generation, right? Except the Turkish, they're there for like 2, or
His
the
mortal
Italian,
enemy.
Yeah.
but all the rest is like kind of first, second generation. So my parents came to Germany when I was 6 months old, and then I grew up in Germany, and I saw Iran the first time when I was 22.
My two
Like,
favorite TV shows that I've ever seen that I currently watch on Netflix, but one's over and the other one's just got a new season, is Dogs of Berlin. Do you know that show, Dogs of Berlin? And 4 Blocks. Do you know the show
this
4
is
Blocks?
so cool
Those
that
are my
you
two
know
favorite
that.
shows.
Actually, there are friends of mine on that show.
If
I
I want to FaceTime them.
Yeah, I can FaceTime them
I
right
swear
now.
to fucking God, I watch those shows.
Let me give him a shout out. Sinan, he's like one of the actors on Dogs of Berlin. Sinan, hast du gehört? Du hast Fans hier in Amerika. Guck mal, Chris.
I love your show, dude. I love your show. What's up, bro? America.
Yeah, we have a lot of German. There are a lot of German rappers on
And
it.
4 Blocks too. That show 4 Blocks is
yeah,
sick.
there's,
You watch that stuff?
I watch every.
Basil
I
is
told
on
you
that
this, didn't I? Tell you I
show.
was. Remember, I told you I've been watching these
Shout
shows
out.
in German with English subtitles. Dogs of Berlin and 4 Blocks. I watched all 3 seasons of 4 Blocks, or it's 2 seasons of 3rd season coming, and then Dogs of Berlin had 1 season, and I finished it. It's unbelievable shows.
And there's a third one called Babylon Berlin. These are like they're
I started watching a little bit of that.
It's so cool that you
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
these.
yeah, yeah.
So 4 Blocks right now is like top of everything. They get a lot of
That's like the number one show in the
props.
country?
Well, in the I don't know if that the word right, the urban the hip hop
It's
related,
yeah.
big city related.
It's like the young people show, like the woke show.
The mass maybe not, but like the younger ones, they love 4 Blocks.
I love it.
And Dogs of Berlin, they got a lot of shit by the press. They didn't love it too much compared to the other one, but still they're great actors on it.
Yeah.
I
love
love
it.
it's a great show, and I love that Germany is like developing new kind of movies.
Yeah.
It's the same with the stand-up. You know, we're getting into that more. I'm writing a screenplay right now,
Oh my
and
God.
I already got the okay from a huge, well-known
Beautiful.
Yes.
production company.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm very can't wait to go into that movie. I didn't want it to tell. Jetzt habe ich es verraten. Ich wollte es eigentlich nicht verraten, aber
It's
das ist ein Drehbuch
It's
schreiben.
like when you're in Germany or Sweden or Denmark and you start doing comedy, there's your shot. You could get famous in 3 months.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
just
but
get
I
it.
it's
have
so
to
new.
say,
What is it?
No, because like yesterday there was a guy. He was actually Greece at the Ice Club, and he was like, "Okay, Germany, you can still." And I was like, "Dude, it's maybe it's a smaller community, but it's the same. Like here, I have friends, good comedians, really good comedians, hustling for like 20 years, but still haven't been on a TV show or blah. Of course, it's a smaller world, and of course, if you're good at what you do, you don't have the same. Of course, not the same competition you have here or you have in LA, but still, it's the same thing. It's not that you're guaranteed your
Sure,
success.
right.
Like
You have to be funny and-
I'm like a total. What happened to me, good or bad, whatever, was a total exception. Like a total exception. Most of the comedians are like 10 years in, 15 years in.
But how long does it take you to get paid as a comic in Germany when you start?
I
got
think
paid in a year and a half. She had her own show.
Yeah, but most of
most
them,
comics.
No,
Oh.
most comics they don't live from comedy. You know, they have the regular jobs, and then they do
Comedy
their
at
comedy
night.
on the side.
Yeah.
But I hope that it's now it's getting more, and now it's the time to develop new TV shows, you know, to give place. We don't even have the spots for the comedian because we don't have the shows for the comedian. That's why they cannot make it, because there's no show to
Yeah.
Let me
put
ask you a question.
on, you know?
Do you know a comedian named Vidura Rajpaksa?
No,
He's a
I'm
Sri
sorry.
Lankan comic based in Berlin. He hosts the Anything Goes podcast.
Oh, no.
And he's got podcast episodes and social media stuff on livefromthesandbox.com.
No, I don't know him, but shout out to him.
Shout out Vidura Rajpaksa. You sponsor the show livefromthesandbox.com.
How cool is that?
He's from Berlin. I just thought maybe you would know him.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know.
That's all right. Whatever are you going to do? Can I have a
Yeah.
water?
You want a water?
Can I have a water? Would you like a water?
Would you like a
That's how
I
we
would
say it
like
in
a
America.
water.
How do you say water?
Fucking water?
Wasser.
Massa?
Ein Wasser.
You want some massa?
Ich hätte gerne ein Wasser.
And how do you say it in Farsi?
Ja, ab, لطفاً اگه به من.
For water?
Yeah, up به من. Up. Up is water.
Up.
There
Yeah.
was a woman, so before...
Here's your water.
Thanks for my water. So before I started doing like comedy full time, I used to be a physical therapist. Maybe in Germany you call it a physiotherapist.
Physiotherapeut.
Physiotherapist. So I used to do, and anyway, I was a pediatric physical therapist, and but right before I was a specialist pediatric physical therapist, I worked in like an old age home, and the community was a big Farsi community out on Long Island. Okay. And the people, they were the older women there. They were like initially like nobody's touching us, but. People from our community, but then I just wore them down so much that by the end of it all, I was just
took them all physically.
I was massaging all the. I was taking care of all my Farsi women. I had a nice little old lady Farsi crew, Iranian crew, and I just want to shout out those women.
Yeah, cool.
But they're probably all dead now because they were older then, and it was 10 years ago. But high in heaven.
Yeah. We didn't even know before we went to Germany that there was a difference between Bavarians and Germans.
Because you have a very German sweater on.
Yeah, that's
a very German look, no?
Would this be German, this look? With a
Yanni's a handsome kid, no?
Yeah, he is.
He's a handsome married kid.
Yeah.
And he's been having a few beers lately. He's been having drinking a lot of beers lately like a true German.
Well, because I'm a married kid, and that's what you do. You just get a couple beers when you come home and you crack them open.
You're just a married, you're just a married guy.
You crack them open
and clean them out. That's what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't even know when we went to Germany. We went to Salzburg.
Cool. Which is
Very
in
nice.
Austria.
So fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's different types of Germans.
I think Hitler was born there, right? He's born in Salzburg.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's Austrian. Yeah. So was Mozart. No, Mozart was born there.
Mozart also, I think Hitler also.
Hitler was born in Salzburg?
I'm not sure. But
Might have been born in Salzburg.
This is like German.
I know everything about Hitler. I can't believe I don't know
this. He's born in Salzburg. Yeah, Hitler's in Salzburg. I guess. I hope.
Shout out Hitler. Tweet us Hitler where Hitler was born.
Yeah. Salzburg's beautiful.
Loved it.
Munich, everything was destroyed, so it's a new city, so not so beautiful.
Right.
Remember eating the chocolate? Remember when I love sweets? I'm like obsessed with chocolate and sweets and Nutella. And remember when I took the bite of those sweets in Austria?
Yeah.
We sat at that little cafe and I was just in heaven.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Do you guys, I mean, the amount of beer that Germans drink.
Yes,
You guys don't meet for a coffee. You're like, let's go have a beer.
Yes, they do. I don't drink any beer, but but there are a lot of girls also drinking beer. But it's still, I think, mostly a man guy thing. But there are a lot of girls in Cologne, where I'm from. We have a very sweet, kind of more fresh, sweet kind of beer, very famous, called Kölsch.
Kölsch.
So the Kölsch.
Where can we get Kölsch in New York?
They call it a very girly beer. You know Kölsch?
Yeah.
And it's
Mike
very
knows.
sweet, and it's very in a little glass. But the Bavarians, they have this huge thing going on.
Oh my God!
with
Even the waitresses, I don't know how they were holding 3-4 of them at a time. Just fucking. We went out with a couple of New York City firefighters, so these are like real drinkers, and every night somebody would remember. We saw that one guy who fell asleep in the bush outside.
Yeah,
people's pants were people. We just saw people with their pants down. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I would love to go back, but I think I want to try. I want to go to Berlin. I've never been to Berlin.
I heard Berlin's like the cool city.
It is. Yeah. Berlin is like the New York kind of city. The only German city with like a real big city touch to it. You know, we have Frankfurt, of course. We have Cologne, Stuttgart, Hamburg, but Berlin is like huge and alive. And
you know where I'm going to take you? The neighborhood I grew up in Queens, which my mother still lives there. Shout out my mother.
Cool.
Ridgewood, Queens. Mostly German neighborhood. We had the restaurants there, Zum Stammtisch.
Stammtisch.
Zum Stammtisch.
Okay.
We had that. We had Gephardt's. We had Niedermeyer's. All these. It was a huge
In Queens, right?
In Queens. They're still there.
Krass.
I don't know if the German food. I don't know if you're gonna like it because
it's German food.
Yeah, we didn't
and it
love
stinks.
the German food.
German food is basically.
Say it to the camera. Say it to her fans.
I'm sorry, German food just sucks. It's
It's
hot dogs.
What did you? No.
Yeah, it's
we do
just.
have a lot of German like schnitzel.
That schnitzel. That's
Oh,
hot
talk
dog.
to the mic. Talk to the mic.
And, I'm sorry. We do have schnitzel.
Schnitzel's good.
We do have.
But it needs a little bit of sauce. No.
You gotta put some fucking sauce on it.
Italians make the best food.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Italian number one. Even Middle Eastern food is good.
Yeah, I mean that's
hummus.
different. It's very different. We have more like a very Italians want Mediterranean food. Italian in Spain, but in Germany we do have good food. Yes, that's good German.
Yeah,
looks
it doesn't look great.
It doesn't look great.
It doesn't look great.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not shitting on it because I want to take you out. But it doesn't look great. I want to have a family with you, but this food doesn't look great. If you can learn how to make Italian, you got a deal. But I want to crack you open.
It's just what it is.
It's just what it is. I'm in love with you. You look Puerto Rican, but you're not. It's a dream. Do you have a tattoo on your tit?
deutsche Essen, weil er sagt, er würde mich eventuell noch ausführen und deswegen will er nicht
I don't
scheiße
know
reden
what
über
you're
das deutsche
saying, but I'm
Essen.
into it.
She's saying the
I don't know
American.
what she just said, but I'm in love.
She said the American comics that looks like Hitler's wet dream is hitting on me right now.
And I'm feeling very...
Something like that, right? Yeah.
Like that. No, but I have to say, well,
I was just kidding. Okay.
No, she
Why?
liked
I
it.
was
Yeah.
very
take it.
complimented. I was
Because German
complimented
girls,
by-
it's, you know, in America, the girls like, I'm gonna fucking sue you.
No, that's the thing.
Germans not a thing with them.
They
No,
like them.
we don't sue.
You just like a guy being a fucking guy.
Yeah.
And respecting you, of course,
Of
but
course.
you can just talk to you.
Of
right.
course.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say something about what you said right now is that Americans do one mistake, which is for us, Europeans in general, is like we find that very stupid about the food thing or generally about the culture thing. They always think that Europe is one culture, but it's not. They always say like, I love European culture, but they don't know like
That's so stupid.
Italy and Germany is like Japan
Yeah.
compared to America. It's like
Yeah.
totally different, you know.
Most people know that, though.
Yeah, most
they know that.
yeah.
So why do they often say
No.
Europe as if Europe is like one culture?
Did
but
they
like,
ask Zach?
wait,
Was it who'd they speak to? Zach?
Because the thing is,
He's not a good representative.
Zach.
Yeah, Zach's not a
Was
good
that
representative.
Zach?
yeah,
He's got he's got words on his fingers.
Zach,
Words
where
on
are
his
you
fingers.
from? Where's Zach
He's from Queens, New York.
No,
Zach, don't talk to my fucking wife.
his roots.
His roots are from special ed.
Yeah.
That's where he's from. It's a country
Where-
called
yeah.
special ed.
Your roots are based in fucking ISIS and want to drink the blood of Christians.
Oh, salam alaikum.
Yeah, I know.
He's from a country called Missing a Chromosome.
Yeah, Mr. Crummer. The thing is,
No, he's not me.
most Americans, I think, like I've always, like it's always been impressive to me that so many European people from whatever country know English and know so many different languages. But it's like the thing is, like if we got in a car and drove 1,000 miles in any direction,
Yeah.
it's just everybody's still speaking English. America's
Right,
huge. If
right.
you got in a car and drove 1,000 miles, you're speaking 10 different languages,
Right.
different countries. So it's like
Yeah.
that thing where I wonder if like we grew up in Europe, like everybody in Europe can speak multiple languages, or most people can,
Yeah.
right? Because it's all around you.
At least English, or
Yeah,
like
so
you
you-
learn French in school, maybe a little bit, but at least like you speak your own and English, you know.
See, the thing is,
And-
like, I know, like, America gets a bad rap because it's like, oh, we're stupid because it's like you only know English and we have our own systems. But it's like we are so far away. There's like an ocean
Right.
between us. So it's like there's no real incentive for us to learn any other language unless our family's from Europe.
Right.
And also, we won the war, so we make the fucking rules.
Yeah, we make the rules.
We just make the rules. So
let's
listen.
let's be honest.
I'm in charge here because you're German, I'm American, and my team won.
And let's be honest. As far as pretty languages, the way they sound,
German's not up there.
German's not on the top of the
I'm
list.
totally on your side, but I have to be careful
you're-
what
but
I
Ameri-
say. As I have Iranian roots, and Germany right now is also the country is very divided. When I say something against Germans or the German culture, even though I am German, that's my
Let
home,
me say
you
it.
know. But they will be like, oh, the Iranian girl, so go back to Iran, you know.
Yeah.
So that's a problem right now in Germany. I think it's the same here. The country is like everybody is discussing everything.
We want to catapult a few people over the
yeah,
wall.
So I
Yeah,
have to
that look
say,
a little bit like him. Yeah, this guy is what we like to call him is fucking cannon fodder. He's got to go back over the wall.
Well, I'll say it.
Yeah.
German, it's a language like it's just you don't want to hear that language when you're having sex. You don't want to hear ice and was an ice.
I do.
Yeah, right now you do.
Okay, sorry.
But it's just not a sexy language.
Well, I can tell you, like when I change between the languages, between Farsi, English, and German.
Yeah.
Also, my voice changed. Like,
Sure.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So, give me an English sentence, whatever. Please, not
okay.
a provocative
Yeah.
one, like a cool one.
Okay, cool. How about you say, I want to go get a nice sauce in Ridgewood with Chris.
I want to get a nice
Nice
what?
sauce,
like
like
a
an Italian sauce.
Italian
How about I want
sauce.
to get a piece of. How about I want
wanna-
to get a slice of pizza with
Okay.
Chris?
Okay.
I wanna get a slice of pizza
so
with Chris
now
in
here's
Ridgewood.
English. I want to get a slice of pizza with Chris.
Yeah.
Here's German. Ich würde gerne eine Pizza essen gehen mit Chris. Look at
Sorry.
him.
Oh,
You're
God.
mean.
Yeah.
He's mean.
Sorry.
And now Farsi.
Yeah.
دوست دارم با کریس برم یه پیتزا بخورم.
I want the Farsi. I want you to speak to me in Farsi.
Yeah, I like
Can
Farsi.
people comment on this? Yeah.
No, I'm recording and then I'm gonna put
You're
it
gonna
up.
post.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was live.
I should do live. You're right.
Yeah, I was gonna do live. Let's do a poll if
I should go
yeah,
live.
if
Okay.
you're fancy, we
Live?
should go on a date or not.
Yeah, for a slice of pizza in Ridgewood.
Yeah.
Have
Do you have a
had pizza
boyfriend?
yet?
Are you single?
I am single.
Oh
right?
my God.
But well,
But you're not. Oh, you're not.
No, I am actually.
Does your boyfriend know how to box and throw hands? Because I know how to box. I could throw hands. How much does your boyfriend bench press?
You have to understand, though, she's from the factory that made you, so you're not as exotic as you think you are in her eyes. Because she could go get one of you tomorrow in Munich.
Yeah. They got me.
You remember when we were in Munich and you were like, I feel like my powers don't work here?
Yeah.
It's because everyone looks
women
like
cared about me at all in Europe.
because you actually look like a small.
I'm actually not a fucking good-looking guy. I have a big fat head.
You look like a small German.
Both of you are the four of you.
Don't
very
lie.
No, you're lying.
Don't lie.
But you have a boyfriend, though.
Let me tell you something.
Let me ask you real quick.
Americans, to me,
Does he look like an emoji that you would send in a text?
Do you know what
Oh yeah, he do look
He
like
does,
an emoji.
yeah.
You look like the smiley one, the nice
it's
one.
nice, it's
yeah.
kind.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of the mean one also. You could be the mean one.
Yeah, the one like that with the face. Do the one like that when the guy says you get cracked open and cleaned out and you make your face look like that.
Sometimes when eggplant.
Yeah.
So you said you kind of have a boyfriend.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted you.
We don't want to get into your personal life, but we're just on the podcast.
In Germany, I never talk about my private life, but I can tell you, I'm a long-term relationship girl. I was in in my whole life, I was always in a long time.
The best way to be.
5 years, 6 years, always very nice. I'm one of the few women in the world. I feel like I don't have no bad experience. I always was like with a nice guy,
man,
treated very nicely. But then I think there's a time in your life, and to me it's maybe a little late right now, but you have to learn to, you always have to learn what you haven't learned.
Sure.
Maybe people who haven't been in a relationship their whole life, they should for once force themselves
Be
to
single.
learn it. I'm the other way around. I've always been in a very supportive, caring relationship, 5 years, 6 years, then again 6 years. So this time I'm trying to learn to be on my own, and I want to have a family one day, so there has to be a time when I learn it, So,
is your family okay with you dating guys outside of the?
of course,
arena?
I have a very. My parents are very.
Open-minded.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So he wouldn't have to. It would if you dated Chris.
It
for
wouldn't be
example.
a problem bringing someone that looked like me home.
Yeah. My dad always said, "I wish you would get to know an American comedian who has German heritage,
who has German and a Puerto Rican daughter,
Puerto Rican
and knows how to throw
ex-wife.
hands,
and knows how to throw hands.
Puerto Rican Brooklyn situation, ex-wife.
Yeah, that's called it's called the Sunset Park marriage.
Sunset Park marriage, and it's just you're
Occasionally,
my dad's dream.
Yeah, occasionally he's got to pick up his baby's mama's mama and take her to an appointment to get her knee replaced, and that's
just
about
what it is.
That's all you have to deal
listen,
with.
I'm a good guy. I think people can attest. I'm a good guy. I love my kid.
He just likes to have.
So you have one little daughter.
I have one little daughter. She's going to be 4 on Sunday.
Nice, very cute.
So we're excited.
Very cute.
We got a birthday party.
cutest.
Giannis was invited. He's not coming.
Yeah.
Giannis just doesn't care.
How many kids do you have, Giannis?
I have 0 kids.
Giannis is shooting blanks.
I just got married.
Just got married. Congrats
6
for that.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Thanks. He has a dog.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I got a dog. I got a dog.
Giannis
What
got
kind
a
of
dog.
dog? A German Schäferhund,
No,
maybe?
no German Shepherd, no,
Shepherd?
no.
Shepherd? How do you say it?
German Shepherd.
Shepherd.
A Dachshund.
No, yeah.
I have a Dachshund. Hitler's favorite dog.
No, yeah.
That's a true story.
Hitler's favorite dog.
Dachshund were Hitler's favorite dogs.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
And a German
Is that a
Shepherd.
dackel? I think you mean
Dachshund?
a dackel. Is that
No, I think it was
dackel
the
is the
Dachshund, the long
dachs?
hot dog ones. He loved
Yeah,
those.
that's dackel in Germany.
Oh, dackel. Okay, yeah. Here we call him Dachshund. I have a Dachshund
That was
named Larry.
Hitler's favorite dog?
That's what they
Dackel?
say. That's what my
Okay,
mother
yeah, that's
said.
a dackel.
Yeah.
We
They also
have a
like the
duck.
Shepherds. The Shepherds were.
And Doberman Pinchers.
Yeah, those
Wir
pinchers
sehen-
and yeah.
Er hat mir gerade erzählt, dass Dackel die Lieblingshunde von Hitler waren. Ich wusste das nicht.
We don't know.
If you put the camera on him, they're just going to think you're doing a podcast in Germany.
Yeah. They're going to be like, what is this fucking neo-Nazi doing
Yeah,
here?
they're going to be like, oh, he must be in Frankfurt. And then they yeah.
I can't see out of my fucking left eye.
Because you always have some type of ailment.
No, there's no ailments, cuz.
Yeah.
What happened is I blew out a can. I normally don't like candles, but last night I was just feeling good, and I lit a candle in my apartment, and I went to go blow it out, and the ash and the wax went into my eye
God.
and
God.
lit the inside of my eye on
God.
fire.
Yeah, you do have an ailment. You know what it's called? Being fucking stupid.
Oh,
I mean, you fucking put your face into a camera. You're fucking stupid.
because I just normally don't like candles, and
Yeah.
then I did. So,
Why'd you like
do you like
candle?
Whitney Houston?
Did you have company yesterday?
I did, yeah. I mean,
Okay,
she's not.
because I
yeah,
love Whitney
rest
Houston.
In peace.
If
She
you want to
was-
go out and get a slice of pizza with some water and listen to Whitney Houston, I'm your guy.
I've been to a concert when I was a very little girl.
Same with me.
She came to Germany to a city called Aschaffenburg, and
Yeah,
it was
I know
like it was. I was very little. I was so proud to see her
Yeah.
like live. That was before Whitney had her like
Yeah.
bad times. That was
Yeah.
before that. Yeah.
Is Milli Vanilli, are they cultural icons in Germany?
I mean, I know them.
Yeah.
I think now the generation wouldn't know them anymore, the younger ones,
Yeah.
but they were the ones with the fake situation,
blame
right?
Blame it on the
Yeah,
rain.
but they had a huge, big hits in Germany.
Yeah.
100 years ago. Yeah,
Have you ever considered, before you started coming to the United States, to be an au pair?
No,
Yeah.
I never had
That's
that
a big
idea.
German
but
thing, au pairs.
They come over, stay for a year.
Stay for a year,
Yeah.
fuck a few black guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no.
no,
Well, Giannis had
no.
a sexual
I
relationship
don't
with
do
an au
that.
pair.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Oh, we can't say that. We can't say that, right?
Yeah.
We
Not
have
in
to
the
calculate
free
that
ones.
out.
Yeah. Not in the free
calculate
ones.
that
No,
out.
I didn't do that.
It's
Maybe
not
because
usually
of the
you.
reasons.
No, but it's usually like it's usually German girls, like ethnically
Yeah,
German.
yeah.
They love black guys because they don't. There's not a lot of black guys in Germany, right? So that's exotic for them. Because every au pair I've ever known
Yeah.
I
ends
love
up
black
banging
guys.
a black dude.
I fucking would bang a black dude if I, maybe I will. I don't know.
If I look through your phone right now, is there something in your Google history where it says NBA athletes without their shirt on? Are you Googling that again?
No, I
you
do
wanna
like
get
to
some
look at
la-
men without their shirts on, but it's not a gay thing. It's just I like to.
Do you want to sit in James Harden's lap and console him because he lost?
No, but you know whose lap I would sit in? Dirk Nowitzki's.
Oh, wow.
I fucking love Dirk.
Yeah, Dirk is one of the best.
Do you know Dirk
ever.
Nowitzki?
I don't know him personally, but of course I know him. He's a legend. He is a living legend.
He's a legend here, too.
Yeah, he just quit it. Like he just said goodbye
He
a few
retired.
weeks
Yeah, he
ago. So
retired.
Dirk is one of our heroes. Shout out on Dirk.
Shout out Dirk
wherever you
Nowitzki.
are, Dirk. You're a legend.
Do you
Yeah.
like Angela Merkel?
Now it's getting political.
Yeah.
Well, she's
Yeah, but it's like we don't. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think she did a good job. I mean, she's been Kanzlerin, Bundeskanzler. That's how we call it. She's our Kanzlerin for now over
chancellor?
a decade. I mean, almost what?
Is that word chancellor? Or you got rid of
Yeah,
that?
Chancellor. Kanzler. That's
Kanzler,
our president is more like a form.
That sounded
formel,
like
it's
okay.
just for,
Sounded
for
like-
the
I thought you said
form.
Führer.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
little scared for a second.
And then I had to knock my right arm down because I almost hit one.
Chris, come on.
I'm kidding. Let's America. We can
Yeah.
do whatever we want. We
Yeah.
won the
right.
wars.
Yeah,
We're
actually
free.
right.
We're fucking
Actually,
free.
right, yeah.
No, but so initially, this trip to America, you just wanted to come and do comedy, or did you get booked to do a job out here, like a TV job?
Well, no, I did that last year with LA to play the Laugh Factory and stuff, and
Yeah.
so this year I
New York.
had this UTA thing going on, and I was like, yeah, why not? I'm
Have
coming
you met
over.
with anyone in UTA here?
Yes, I was at the UTA
Office,
and I met. They're called Mike and Mark, the two
yeah.
legends. I was like, Bjorn called me. He was like, Mike and Mark. I was like, oh, Mike. How is it called? Mikey Mark. Mark
Marky
Wahlberg.
Mark?
Mark
Marky
Wahlberg.
Mark. I was like, oh, okay. Mark Wahlberg is my agent in New York. That's cool.
Yeah.
And so
True
yeah,
story.
that was
Yeah.
Mike.
Now
Mike
that's
and
it. Mark Wahlberg
Had
is the
sex
guy.
with Mike.
If you give me a Tylenol PM, I will 100% suck his dick.
Yeah.
That's a guy who's just such a you know what I mean?
So did my girlfriend in high school.
Yeah, she did. That's a true story.
True story.
It's a true story. But it's just that Mark Wahlberg's just the kind of guy. He's just a handsome guy.
True story. Your girlfriend in high school had
Yeah.
a thing with Marky Mark.
I don't know if you'd call it a thing. I think she just got
I think she
banged
just blew him
out.
in a
Okay.
stairwell. I mean, if that's what you want to
Okay.
call a thing, is just sucking somebody's dick down the
Okay.
stairwell and cheating on your. Yeah, I mean, look at that guy's body.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
could you imagine looking like that?
How old was he?
But
at
I mean,
that time?
19,
No.
20, what
Now
a
he's
fucking
how
no-
old is he now? I don't even know how old he is.
45, 48, 49, almost 50. Because he's legit 5'6".
So that takes it. Yeah. Would you rather have a short guy that's jacked like that, or a tall guy 6'3", 6'4", who's fat?
Or a mediocre
The
tall
tall
guy.
guy who's fat.
The tall guy is fat. See,
Yeah.
that's what you can't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I got a shot.
You got a shot.
Because I'm a fat fucking mediocre kid.
No, but you're
I
not
don't
fat
like.
though.
I personally, and that's a true story. I don't say. I don't like it when guys are too. I mean, like when you have the feeling that he's like working on every app and
You don't
every
like that,
blah.
yeah.
No, I mean, you have to be athletic. What is the right word?
No,
I'm
you
sorry.
got it. Athletic, yeah.
Athletic. You have to
Yeah.
be, healthy. That's cool. But I would always prefer one who is maybe a little overweight or a little underweight
Yeah.
to one who's like, oh my god, I have to have this perfectly done because then I feel like it's a little too,
Yeah,
too,
well, kind of gay.
Yeah.
It's kind of gay.
it's
Let's
a
just
little-
call it
yeah.
what it is. It's
Gay
kind of
and
gay.
a
We're
kind
talking
of
to you,
I get
Justin
the sense of
Silver.
a control freak,
Control
somebody
freak.
who's like, oh my god, I have to be like
You have
that.
to
Then
do it.
chill,
What'd you say, Jan?
I said, we're talking to you, Justin Silver.
Oh yeah, Justin Silver. He's another comical. I'm
Justin?
sure. I'm sure he'll DM you immediately as soon as he sees what you look like. He'll DM
He
you with
works
some
out a
bogus
lot.
request.
He works out a lot and like
What's
this.
up?
Okay.
You want to come do my show? Shut up, Justin.
Now, Chris is
How's the comedy scene in here? Are you guys like? Are you cool with each other? Do
Yeah,
you
cool.
Very
support?
supportive. Yeah,
Is there
absolutely.
also a lot of like hate or like this? He hates him or
There's
she
hate. I
hates-
think there's like it's very kind of corny. Like we're all grown up, so it's kind of silly. People, there is hate, but it's very, for most people, it's like very, like we look at it like you guys are losers. Yeah. Like to hate, because it's like for what? Like we're all in this business together.
Right.
All our success, we all help each other here. So it's like somebody gets a TV show or movie, they put us. Or if, you know, in the movie, or if we get a TV show or movie, we put them in it. So it's like we're all like a brother sisterhood here.
I feel like in Germany we still have like a lot of. I mean, we have, of course, I have close friends there. Like a few of them really like my brothers or sisters now, like really close and helping each other. But we also have a lot like. Also a very divided thing. Like you are the ones with the migrants with the blah background. We're still like in the 80s, you know, when African American comedians raised, and then maybe the other ones were like, oh, this is new to us, different topics, different content, you know. Yeah. Still, I feel like we should be more supporting each other. Maybe
it'll get there. I mean, you said it's a new art form, but now it's very supportive here now.
Cool.
I personally think.
Do you find it? Are there comics that are like doing American jokes in German and like because that's something that happens overseas a lot? Where
they steal the
Of
Europeans.
course, we have a few. I don't want to name them. Some of them I do even like. You know, I like.
We know
them
their
very
names.
much. You know their names?
No,
I would be so surprised if you know a name.
One of them's French and his name's Gad.
There you go.
We had one or two comedians, and this was so funny. Like one of them, I even like him. Like he apologized.
What do you mean
later.
you like him?
I mean, he's a friendly guy.
Right.
I don't know what he did, but maybe his mistake was he was. You know, when a person is like thirsty, not hungry, but thirsty.
But
like
thirsty. Get him a water. Yeah, why don't you give him a water?
Yeah. He should have some water and chill. Maybe just stay hydrated. You know. Yeah. So what he did is like he took from a famous comedian over here. He didn't even bother to take maybe a less famous one, you know, like one of the famous, and the set was like one-on-one, the same thing.
I believe
like
it.
One-on-one. So then people put it up on YouTube, but still it wasn't that big because comedy is not that big. So it wasn't like the whole Germany says what is happening. It was the small community who say what is happening. He's a famous comedian in Germany, and he took this set from this famous comedian over here, and people compared it, and it was like one. It wasn't even close or like one gag or like one part.
We can get it on the internet.
It was the whole thing.
No, one gag.
We'll find it.
He apologized.
No, I'm saying what's his name?
No, we'll find it.
I tell you later.
Yeah,
so he apologized, and then he put in. He was like, "Sorry, I was under pressure. I didn't know, blah blah." But we still, and I feel. I mean, I think. I would be so angry
that's
if
a no-no.
anybody takes anything.
You can't do
there
that.
There are no rules in this business. There are genuinely no rules except that one.
Yeah,
if you steal a joke, it's like being branded like a pedophile.
Yeah.
It's like whether you're fucking guilty or innocent,
Yeah.
just get away from me.
Right.
Just get the fuck away from me. It's the only thing.
And I know people who are even like trying to legitimize this thing by saying like, okay, that's a different country and this won't bother his career. Like, yeah, you fucking stupid crazy.
Bro, we work for that shit.
One
don't take that from me.
You cannot. I mean, then you're just not a true artist. What is that? What is like? I don't understand. And in Germany, it's still the culture. Like some of our big comedians, they have authors writing for them. You know, I don't know how it's here. Is
can't
that
do that
same?
anymore.
You can't do that anymore.
I feel this so weird. Like
but
it's
at
like
least they're not stealing it.
Yeah,
but still, it's whack.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because it used to be that, like, because comedy, I think, is newer in Germany. That's the way it used to be in the United States. At the beginning, like, comics used to have other guys write for them, like
ghostwriters.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know,
he still
Milton Berle, you would have like 6 writers. You know,
so sorry.
Jackie Gleason would have writers. They all had writers.
Yes.
They did each other's acts. So that's how it was at the beginning. So it's probably Germany's going through what America went through. You'll probably go through all the phases we went through. And
Same shit.
Right.
You'll have your Lenny Bruce, then you'll have your Pryor.
Just like in many ways what we're going through as a country, what Europe has already done, like, you know, going through like all these problems that we have, that Europe's like, you're stupid, like you've been there, done that. Like Europe doesn't have the issues we have for the most part.
Yeah, like you mean like single payer healthcare, all that?
All that stuff.
So I can tell you, like we have 3 very famous comedians in Germany who had this, like they had like took a one-on-one set from like Seinfeld, maybe one-on-one from Richard Pryor, one-on-one from even some people who are famous now or big right now. Yeah. So, but then they apologized, or then they took it back, and then blah. I happily never had that. But when I started, as I'm a Iranian German girl, I remember people were writing like, okay, so that's the same Maz Jobrani does, even though there was nothing. It was just like because I'm Iranian and I'm talking about Iranian parents. And then Maz invited me to his show. show in Toronto to be his support act in Canada, and I was so proud. And then like everybody they shut it up because they were like, okay, he's even
Maz has
inviting
you
her.
on the show,
and I was
yeah.
like, listen, do you think he would invite me if I even had like one gag like he
Yeah.
had? You know, I don't.
He was
I
just in New York last
he-
week, Maz, or 2 weeks ago.
I wish I could
You
have
just
seen
missed
it.
him.
How did it go in Canada when you were with him? Was it fun?
It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
at the Performing Arts Center or something.
Yeah.
Like to me, very big. 1,500 people, 2
Yeah.
shows in a night.
That's very big.
And I love. To me, it means the world when a person like Maz comes to me and says, "Enissa, you're great." Like I came off the stage and he was like, "You're a superstar." I don't know if he meant it like if it's just like supportive, but I feel like how people embrace me, the comedians, but also the audience, how because they're very skeptical again. Like when I come on stage, they're like this. Okay, this is like maybe she doesn't look very comedian-ish or like they but then when they hear me talk, they're like, I loved your stuff. When you were gonna do your own show, and to me that means the world, you know. So
who's your favorite comedian of all time? Like anybody you grew up watching?
I love Chappelle.
Okay.
I love Chappelle. I sometimes I still don't know because I wasn't into the comedy world before I started with comedy. Now I think it's a good thing because I had less influence. I wasn't influenced by what was happening. That's why sometimes, you know, today sometimes still I watch a show and I'm like, he's great, you know, somebody should sign him. And then people are like, Enissa, this is Michael Jackson, you know, like this is what happens to me with comedians that I sometimes don't know. Like I saw my first Richard Pryor set a year ago. I started with comedy 4 years ago. So I just wasn't in the comedy world, but now I feel it's good for me because I'm not influenced by anything which had happened before. And now I'm keeping it that way. But I have different comedians I love. I love Bill Burr. I like Bill Burr. I like Louis C.K. I like Chappelle. I watch old stuff, even Robin Williams stuff, and I'm like, wow, that he was good. I didn't even know, you know. So yeah, now I'm getting into it.
What's Nigel doing at the hotel? He works there?
I don't want to say something wrong, but I think or maybe he's even in charge. I don't know. But
I haven't.
So
you know, I've known him since I was
very
like
polite,
5, 6 years old. He went to Zavarian.
The world is so because
crazy.
I tell you, if he hadn't told me that you're his friend, I would have had a hard time to find you. And even if I had found you, maybe I would have been too shy to. Can I just write Hyenas? Hi, I'm this comedian from Germany. But he was like, write to him. Would you have if I hadn't said that Nigel recommended me? Would you still have invited me for today?
Yeah. If I looked at your Instagram, saw you a comic, and you got a lot of followers, come on.
I do.
Come on.
I do. Yeah.
Are you going to Montreal this year? Did you go last year just for
I
laughs?
have never been at the spot I had now at the East Comedy Club thing. This was a rehearsal spot for the laugh just for laughs.
Oh, so you might have. What night were you there?
Last week or something. What was it? No, a few days ago.
I was probably there too.
Oh, I was at the 10 show.
It was very
and then
few
11
people in the audience.
It was like 10 people.
Yeah, I was there.
So did you get? Are you going to go to Montreal this year?
I don't know.
You
I haven't
auditioned.
had.
You
That was
auditioned.
the
Okay.
audition.
I'm sorry, the audition.
So
okay.
I'm hoping that it worked out for me. Maybe it didn't. I don't know, but
We'll
I would
probably get
love
it now.
to.
When
I
did
would
you go
love
up? Early or later?
Late, very late. I was
Yeah.
like 11 something.
Yeah, I was at the bar. I went up early, and then I was hanging out at the bar.
Oh,
we probably just
okay.
walked past each other.
Yeah,
Whatever.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 10
so
people in the
you haven't seen my
audience.
show, right? My set.
didn't
I
see
have
it,
a little
no. I
set.
didn't
Yeah.
see
We're gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch your shit on Netflix.
Yeah. Like, we're gonna watch it. It's in
We're gonna
English.
watch
It's not in English though.
It's in
I
German.
don't care. I watch it in
has,
German.
It has subtitles.
So
This
Dogs
is
of Berlin.
The most funny thing which happened on my subtitles is that on my second special, the second one, the Comedians of the World, I used the German word called Alter. Alter actually means old guy, but we use it for dude. Like we say, Alter, why did you do that, Alter? This happened, Alter. So I'm from Frankfurt, and we pronounce it Allah. We say, really, Allah? This happened, Allah? This means dude or man.
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Sounds like Allah though.
Right.
That's
and
what they
this
thought she was pledging
Netflix,
allegiance to ISIS.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this Netflix subtitle in charge of Guy,
Says Allah.
he translated the whole thing with Allah. So my whole special is like, I did that, Allah. This happened, Allah. I was like, come on. I even gave them the subtitles because they asked me for it, and I gave them, but they changed it up, and now it's Allah. But then they asked me, so Netflix said, Enissa, do you want us to change it?
Yeah.
I was like, no, because my second special, I want to talk about that. So just leave it the
Sure.
mistakes
Yeah.
you did on
Smart.
the first one. So yeah.
Have you
that's-
been back to Iran? Have you been?
I've been when I was 22, and I
Yeah.
had a nose job there. So that was my
Compliments
my,
to the chef.
my-
He did a good. That's a good nose job.
it's
Yeah,
a little bit. I think I should maybe go again. It's
No,
a little
no.
bit,
No, your
but-
nose is
Don't
perfect.
do it too much,
it's
babe.
a
You got a
little-
beautiful
it's-
nose, babe.
It's a little. So I had a nose.
Don't do it
job.
again. See, that's what people do.
You
like,
know what? How my nose was?
it's
Yanis?
perfect. Don't do it again.
It was like from here to that TV and then back.
I love that nose. It's a nice nose.
So yeah, I had a nose job my first time in Iran, and my second time I just met my family. The majority of my family is over there, so
Yeah.
just my parents are in Germany and one aunt. That's all, and
Yeah.
one uncle in America. That's all.
Yeah.
So
Iran's such an interesting place
but
because
now I can't go because I do a lot of political stuff.
Yeah.
I tell very frankly what I think about the government in Iran.
Yeah.
That they
You'd get
are,
killed if you went now.
They're shit. What?
You would. It would not, you can't go there now.
Well, they don't give it's not an official. They don't give me like you cannot come. But actually, I think if I go, they would probably take my passport away and say
You'd be in
first
danger,
you
yeah.
you stay here and we check out if you can leave again
Shit.
or not.
Shit.
So that's my problem. I do talk a lot of against the right wing Nazis in Germany. I have a campaign going on. I gained within 3 days. I gained 150,000 followers because I made a video in the middle of the night. I never thought this would go so viral. We have a German party right now. It's called the AfD.
Right.
And the AfD has 18% right now. And we're talking about, it's not a conservative party, it's a racist party. Like we're talking about white people using the N-word straightly.
Yeah.
And there's this guy, his name is Andreas Winhardt. So I'm telling this now for the first time in America. Andreas Winhardt is a guy who made a speech. He's a German politician. In his speech, he said, I'm quoting, every N-word person is sick, and before they come to Germany, they should have their health tested, and that Albanian people are all thieves and something like that. So I made a video in the middle of the night, and I was like, what's going on in Germany? We have 18% voting for a party who's like straight racist. So this video went viral. It had 1.5 million clicks. It was just a middle of the night Instagram video, and I gained 150,000 followers, and like people were supporting me from everywhere, and they were like, Enissa, you're the first celebrity kind of person who's like talking so openly against this
Sure.
party, because right now they're not a minority anymore. Like a lot of Germans supporting
18% 's a
them
lot, yeah.
and saying this is a democracy. Okay, it's a democracy, but if you say I want to kill all the other people are sick,
Right.
this is Hitler, straight Hitler talk. So I even made a song. It's on Spotify and iTunes. A very bad song with autotune all over it. But I'm saying like fuck the AfD and fuck this
What's the
Andy
name of the
guy.
song? People go find it. What's the name of the song?
It's
could play
called
it-
"Fuck the AfD," "Fick the AfD."
Fix the IFT.
Can we find it now?
Yeah,
Fuck the
it's on
AfD?
Spotify. It's so full of iTunes, autotune.
Auto-tunes,
I
who
was
cares?
I was at a studio of my friend, and I had 20 minutes time. I was like, let me do a song. So I didn't, and so I said, okay, all the income from this song is going to anti-racism projects. And I have some American comedians. I called them up, friends like now you're too, and I said, could you send me a little video just to say something like, I support you, Enissa, against the AfD. So Finesse.
Mitchell.
Finesse sent me one. Masjabrani sent me one. Maximini sent me one. Ruben.
From Canada?
No, from LA. You know, Ruben sent me one. So a
know
few
Ruben.
comedians sent me like support videos. I haven't posted them yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you so much, because to us it's a lot when an American comedian supports you in that.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, there it is.
Here it is.
You will hate it. It's musically it's
Do you
trash.
sing?
Yeah, with a lot of autotune, I do. Yeah, on this one. It says like, in the middle of the night, I just woke up and I did this video. I never thought this would go viral that way. And then,
This is it. This is a wedding song. What?
It's funny to hear like a Middle Eastern beat with German language.
I took a Middle Eastern beat, I put a German language on it, and I put a lot of autotune. Kids right now, I don't know if it's the same over here.
Absolutely.
The kids are listening and I was like,
Absolutely.
just put it, like, fuck it up. Put a lot of autotune on it.
Absolutely.
But it worked. They were listening to it to support
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So,
There you go. Fuck the AFD.
Yeah.
AFD, right? Fuck
Yeah.
the AFD. I know guys that look like me, but fuck you. Fuck the AFD.
Fuck the AFD. I know nothing about them.
Yeah, I don't know
Fuck the
anything
AFD.
about you. I don't know anything about the AFD. I fucking live here where we're free.
All I
Yeah.
know is you gotta always
But, you know,
watch the
actually-
Germans. You
but
gotta
actually that-
watch the
yeah.
Germans.
You gotta
But
watch
actually,
those-
this is their
those slippery
this is how
fucks,
they
yeah.
argument. You know, they say this is a democracy, so we're free. We can say whatever we want. But in Germany, you have restrictions because of what happened to us in the because of the
40s,
Holocaust. And blah. Our freedom of speech is a little restricted. Like you have freedom of speech, of course, but you cannot talk racist talk. You
Right.
cannot go out with a T-shirt and a swastika on it.
Right.
This is forbidden
Right.
for
Yeah.
a reason.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
of course.
think what's happening now, and they're kind of slipping through, saying what they say, putting up their election posters, very weird, like Islam and Muslim is like blah blah blah. They're gonna take over our wives, our blah. So I'm trying to speak for them a little
Good.
bit, even though I'm not even raised religiously. Like my parents are straightly
What
against-
happened?
Whatever, yeah.
What happened in Iran? Though, like Iran used to be secular, and then it was like kind of taken over as it became a theocracy.
Right, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, secular. We had a monarchy, which was.
But it was very people
it
were
was
very
very
secular.
open. People were
yeah.
like, my mom was wearing like
Yeah.
mini skirts, but still at that time, freedom of speech was. Now it's like totally shit. Like now everybody wishes we had that times back. You
But
know,
there
it
was sort of a
much-
theocratic
but
takeover.
It
Yeah.
was, of course, that's
Yeah.
what it was. And so
Yeah.
a revolution happened. People were on their streets, and people were like, we want our freedom. And then even it got worse. You know, so. Yeah, that's what we have
And it's
now.
still like that now, right?
It's very bad.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it gets better. Iranian people are they're fighters, they're on the street, they're fighting, they're in the jails for saying what they want to say. I know a lot of students who are really like fighting with their lives to have the country free again.
Yeah.
So I hope that they will get there. Inshallah, we would say. So
Europe,
if God
yeah.
wants. if
Europe,
God-
Europe generally is like there's a problem now. In all the countries, there's like this. The right wing is really popped up.
Right.
There's a real problem.
Right.
I mean,
it has really popped.
even in like Denmark, Sweden, all those countries. There's a huge right wing party.
Yeah.
There's
France, Italy, everywhere.
and
Yeah.
they're gaining a lot of seats in the parliament
Yes.
and stuff like that.
What are
Yes.
you going to do? Well, Enissa, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Chris.
Where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram. It's Enissa. It's ENISSA. So I'm Enissa Amani. I'm on Instagram, and I'll be here in New York the whole month.
And you'll be with
I'll
me on Thursday
Chris,
at the
in
Fat Black.
in Queens to eat some German food.
We're
Right?
going to eat German food and pizza in Queens, and then we
And
have a show.
Pizza and Queens, and the show. When is your show?
Thursday, this Thursday, 10 o'clock.
I'll be at your show, and Yanis, I'll have you and your wife over in Chinatown, where my hotel is.
There we go, yeah.
to have
Beautiful.
some Chinese food.
Excellent, yeah.
So I was so proud to be here. Thank you
Yeah,
for
of
having
course.
me.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Fuck the AFD.